All right, welcome back.
Here we go.
Here we go. One seed is on the table. We just gotta take it, Jake. We just gotta grab it, take it, and hold on to it for dear life. One win away from clinching a first-round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And it's in Houston, Jake. And we said, I don't know if this video is coming out first or if our picks video is going to come out first. But again, a final game of the regular season in Houston with some kind of playoff thing on the line. It went from a wild card 2 years ago to clinching the division last year to now clinching the number one seed in the AFC this year. I've come to love playing in Houston in the final week of the season, Jake, and hopefully
not yet. Rolling. Yeah. Keep it rolling first, and then we'll talk about how much we like it. It's gone well thus far.
It has, and it's got to continue, right, Jake? I mean, this is a completely different team than the one that just shot themselves in the foot and dropped the ball literally and metaphorically to these Houston Texans, losing 22-13 in Nashville in a cold, wet, rainy day where Tannehill did not do a good job of taking care of the ball. And we just couldn't get anything going, really. Defense was decent in that game, but the Tyrod Taylor athleticism really was the difference in them putting up those 22 points. But this time we get a Davis Mills version of the Texans, sixth-round rookie QB who's playing like, besides Mac Jones, maybe playing the best of the rookie QBs, funnily enough. But there's a few things to get in here and talk about with Jake. First of all, obviously, Derrick Henry has been practicing, and man, oh man, it really feels like, we're going to see Derrick Henry play in this game. I think he's motivated as ever. He is hyped. He is, I'm sure he's just so impressed with what the Titans have been able to do in his absence, and he's ready to just bring it all home for this playoff run. So big thing to keep an eye on there. Also, we love talking about revenge games here, Jake, which I have written down. We have a Deontay Foreman and then a very quick turnaround for Zach Cunningham to be playing his former team, who he had a pretty good game against the Titans in that first matchup. And so what do? We're like, we don't want to play against that guy the second time. We'll take them from your defense, Texans. But really should just be a revenge game for this entire Titans team. Hopefully we are still just like pissed for letting that game get away. I mean, if we had taken care of business the first time, Jake, we could have had 2 bye weeks for resting starters maybe in this game, and then the bye week already being clinched. But, we gotta still play football here in week 18 against the Texans. And I mean, hey, they don't have Zach Cunningham anymore. We're not seeing Tyrod Taylor. We're seeing Davis Mills. But this Texans team, dude, we cannot overlook them. That should just be a given now as Titans fans. I mean, this team very recently hosted I almost said San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, and beat them. They dropped 40 points on them and beat them by double digits. And the Chargers are a dangerous team, and they're looking to clinch a playoff berth this weekend against the Raiders. So Texans can still jump on you and surprise you, but it shouldn't be surprising. They've shown that they can beat some decent teams if they can put together a full 60 minutes, and they've done it against the Titans and the Chargers this year. I don't know who their other 2 wins are. They'll probably beat the Jags twice. I think they did beat the Jags twice. So those are your 4 wins. So the Titans have to come in and be motivated to get some revenge. And, we got so much to play for, and it kind of starts here with getting this first round bye and getting that little extra edge against the rest of the AFC playoff field, Jake. So with that long intro now set aside, please, let's break this thing down here. What are we going to be seeing with our passing offense against the Texans' pass defense? It's a lot more that we're going to be seeing that wasn't available last week. That's their last game.
And I'm sure the weather inside Energy Stadium, I believe, if it's still called that, is going to be much better than it was in Nashville back in November. You would hope with them playing in a dome and whatnot. But this Titans passing offense, Justin, Ryan Tannehill's getting the stable of weapons back. I mean, you mentioned Derrick Henry has a chance to play in this game. A.J. Brown coming back, doing his thing. We saw him, it was a limited kind of productive last week against Miami, but he had 2 big first down catches. That's kind of what he's there to do, is make the bigger splash plays downfield. Julio Jones should be playing in this game. Whether that means something to this Titans offense, we still don't know, Justin. I guess it's better to have Julio Jones on the field versus not having him on the field. But as far as a significant weapon, it still remains to be seen here in Week 18 whether Julio Jones can get it done for the Titans or not. But you mentioned it, completely different feel from the last game. I mean, last game, your Chester Rogers was your number one, or AJ Brown got hurt very early in that game, and then Chester Rogers became your number one. So it's very, very different Titans offense this Texans defense will be facing. And yeah, the Texans ranked 29th in passing yards given up per game, getting towards 400 yards a game, 383 per game they give up.
Yeah.
A bright spot has been former Titan Desmond King. He's having a decent year. Tevier Thomas and Terrence Mitchell will also be at corner for the Houston Texans. Safety Justin Reed, I read unlikely to be playing in this game. So that's a big one, I guess, if you're kind of splitting hairs here with this Houston Texans team. That's a big loss for their defense, especially on the back end. So that being said, Justin, you would really, really hope that the potential 1 seed Tennessee Titans could get it done through the air against the 29th ranked passing defense. I mean, you would hope, right? I would say we have the advantage, especially with the full stable of weapons.
Yeah. Dude, we have to. And I mean, we saw this team put it all together really against the Dolphins last week, a 34-3 win. So you're feeling really good at where this Titans team is at, despite it happens with Titans. They do tend to have a drop off when they really shouldn't against a lesser opponent. But yeah, there's just no way with the weapons that we have now here. And Tannehill played a really good game as a game manager type of performance last week, because he was getting help from all aspects of the team, offense, defense, and special teams. So yeah, just it's all going to come down to turnovers, Jake. We got to protect Tannehill, to give him time to deliver the ball. It all comes down to taking care of the football for Tannehill and for this passing game to be effective. And I think surely we'll be able to get it done this time around. So I like it. I think the Titans should have this advantage. And yeah, like you said, Justin Reed is a pretty big blow for that secondary. He's a pretty solid safety that I think he does a little bit of everything. He's been a good player for them for a few years now. But I will take the Titans advantage here for sure.
I like it. I like it. And Justin, we've been giddy. We've been smiling. We've been giggling like school children about this Titans rushing offense potentially this week. It may be a little too soon, but the King has a chance, Justin. They're saying there's a chance.
Oh, there is a chance indeed. We've seen some practice footage. I've read a quote some source put out. I think it was Titans Rossi, actually. I'm glad I remember that. Good guy, good Titans channel there for Titans Rossi. He apparently has a source close to Henry. Who knows how true or untrue that may be, but so far everything that I think he's said about Henry because of the source has more or less been accurate and true. And he said this source said that Henry, his mindset was he's ready to go. He does not play in the NFL to rest games whenever he is ready to play and healthy enough to play. So seeing the practice videos and all this and that, we might see a Derrick Henry is activated headline tomorrow on Saturday. And I mean, good Lord, the Titans Twitter is going to explode. It's going to break Twitter for sure with the hype and excitement. So if he's ready to play, I'm definitely expecting Derrick Henry to play in this football game, hopefully get a crack at 1,000 yards still. I think he just needs 63, which is it's actual chump change for Derrick Henry to get 63 yards in a game. He was averaging almost double that before he went down. I mean, I think he was averaging 117 yards per game before his injury. So I'm kind of expecting to see Henry in this game. Maybe I'm just a little too giddy, like you said. But you know who I'm also giddy about? If Henry doesn't play, I'm giddy about this Deontay Foreman really turning it around and playing better and better as the season goes on. He's showing to be a great it will be a great, maybe 1-2 punch for this playoff run, kind of a similar style to Henry. It seems like he's getting faster and quicker and more decisive and hitting the holes and breaking tackles. So he's looking really good. Got our change of pace back, Dontrell Hilliard, and, now it's Jeremy McNichols, a little bit getting lost in the shuffle. Once Henry comes back, I don't expect us to have 4 running backs active for the game. So it could be McNichols, who has been now on the outside looking in. So we'll see how the Titans address their roster once Henry does come back. But looking at this Texans defense, man, they are literally in last place in rush yards allowed per game at 143 yards. I mean, talk about a get right or get back into the swing of things type of game for Henry to go against the worst ranked run defense in the league. I mean, he hopefully can get those 63 yards in one carry, and then he can just dip out and be like, I've done my job. I've done my work. We'll see, how much success we should be able to get against this Texans run defense. And I mean, obviously a point here about Zach Cunningham was not on the Titans in the first matchup, and now he is with the Titans. And it's almost like, hey, Cunningham, can we just get the defensive playbook? Surely you have it. Surely you have it somewhere. How much insider knowledge? Who better to have an inside knowledge of the Texans defense than Zach Cunningham, their star inside linebacker? So surely he can give us a little bit of tidbits here and there. And surely the Texans aren't trying to scheme up new schemes and different things to really try to win this hugely important game for them. And hopefully they're not changing up everything because of what Zach Cunningham can provide intel-wise. But even without having to worry about Cunningham on that front seven, they still got some good players. I mean, Kamu Krugier Hill, I botched that name big time. I just know it. He leads their team in tackles. He's having a great year. Christian Kirksey's a solid player for him, has been for a number of years in this league now. And Jonathan Greenard is a good player on that defensive line. He's got 8 sacks, and that's with missing some games to injury. So he's still got some playmakers up here. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say the Titans shouldn't get the advantage here. We got King Henry coming back, I'm expecting. So I think we should definitely get the advantage here. But, this offensive line has been playing well, and they just got to keep it rolling. We're healthy on the line now. It seems like Ben Jones has kind of been getting dinged up here and there. It seems like has gone down the past couple games with a little dink and dunk. But he's as tough as they come, and he's always returns to the lineup. So getting them back, and even Saffold too, he goes down every now and then in a game. And can we trust Taylor Lewan to stay healthy now? I mean, yes, they are all playing, but that position group might benefit more so than any other position group with a bye week, because Nate Davis has also missed games this year from injury. So hopefully the offensive line can get in a solid game, solid performance for this running attack and protecting Tannehill, and they will have earned themselves for sure a first round bye. And of course it starts with them, but man, you just gotta be licking your chops and rubbing your hands together for this King Henry possible return. And it's going to be a beautiful thing if he does step onto the field, Jake. But yeah, anyway, all that to say, Titans, I think, will get the advantage here against the worst ranked run rush defense in the league.
Yeah, I like it. And, I'm licking my own chops and probably looking a little too far ahead because we're not allowed to overlook this Houston Texans team, Justin. And I don't think Mike Vrabel is going to be having that. I don't even think the players, I mean, you're seeing Kevin Byard talking about it, that they're not overlooking Houston, and they know that this team beat them, just a month ago. But I'm licking my own chops and looking forward to, in the cold, the Titans play outside, no dome. So, you're going to be having the hard, real grass, and it's going to be tough, and it's going to be cold, and you're going to have to tackle Derrick Henry. All right. That's one thing. All right. And then when Derrick Henry needs a breather, they're going to send in Deontay Foreman, who hits just as hard as Derrick Henry. Maybe not just as hard, but damn close, because we've seen him lay the wood on a couple of dudes on some of these runs, and he is not afraid to do it. So, and then once you've tackled him, guess who's coming back in? Derrick Henry. So that's just a thought in my head that the Titans could just run over everyone if they can keep healthy on the offensive line, like you said, and rotate those guys efficiently in and out. Man, that's a sight to behold, and I'm smiling about it right now. So yes, I'm with you. It's about this week, though. It's about the Houston Texans this week, and I also agree with you that we get the rushing advantage. Possibly another advantage. Flipping sides of the ball, Justin, the Texans passing offense versus the Titans secondary. You said it at the top. The Titans will get a crack at rookie Davis Mills instead of Tyrod Taylor, whose mobility, Tyrod Taylor's mobility, was the bane of the Titans' last matchup. So you're kind of removing that aspect from this Texans offense. And, maybe it will help the defense not having to worry about that mobility for
Yeah.
sure. And then
Yeah.
the Titans' defensive backs are healthy, man. Jackrabbit Jenkins, being the veteran, yes, was kind of held out of practice a little bit, but everybody, I think, is good to go on the back end of the secondary. So you love to see that. You really feel this Titans team getting healthy at the right time. So on the year, Davis Mills has thrown for 67% completion percentage, has a 13-10 touchdown to INT ratio. So, kind of a rookie getting his feet wet kind of numbers. And obviously, Brandon Cooks, their biggest weapon. He's got over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. We know Brandon Cooks is kind of their guy. And then behind him, you're going to look at Nico Collins and Chris Conley. But, Chris Conley, questionable coming into this game. So remains to be seen if he will be playing as well. With this pass rush, Justin, with this front four and having a rookie quarterback back there, especially against an offensive line who's probably ready to go to the Bahamas or Hawaii or whatever they might be going after the season's over, you got to like the Titans' chances here, especially with everybody healthy on that back end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we'll I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Davis Mills can do. I mean, surely we got to shut down Brandon Cooks. If we can do that, surely you love the chances that this secondary can have against their pass game. And like you said, it's got to start with the pass rush. And I think we'll be able to get down Mills a little bit, or maybe a lot of bit easier than Tyrod Taylor. There's no way he has even close to the wheels that Taylor had. So if we can just get in his face a little bit, he's not going to go far. He's not going to scramble very far. And I think Landry and the boys, Dupree, can chase down the 6th round rookie, Davis Mills. I mean, hey, not to put him down or anything, but I mean, I'm talking about coming into a kind of a bad situation going to the Texans, but it's kind of been a spark. I'm not saying he's going to be a franchise quarterback for that team or any team, but I mean, he's kind of shown that he can play some ball, and he needs to be, checked and accounted for, and hopefully we can get in his face and scare the daylights out of him with Big Jeff running up the middle to boom him a little bit. I don't know why that is the word I chose, but you hear the words Jeff Simmons and boom just comes to mind. I mean, this dude is a beast. But yeah, I think I mean, it's tough, dude. We're definitely going to end up giving the Titans all of the check marks and all of the advantages in these categories.
We're not overlooking the Texans, Justin. We're not doing that.
We're not. This isn't us overlooking the Texans. Nope. It's just looking at this matchup on paper and say, like, yeah, we should have the edge here. But yeah, let's move on. The Texans rushing offense versus this Titans front seven. So a note though, Naquan Jones and T.R. Tart will be missing this game, and that's gonna hurt, our depth at the nose tackle position. But I mean, as long as we got our 4 horses of destruction, Landry, Dupree, Simmons, Autry. Oh man, is Autry having a great season. I'm not too worried about missing those guys. I'm not sure who's behind them in depth. Keko, that guy. I think he recorded a sack last week, so he's probably getting a lot of playing time here. Maybe Laurel Murchison is going to get more playing time, but anyway, I'm not too worried about the depth due to the missing Naquan Jones and T.R. Tart. Yeah, and then again, Zach Cunningham being back there is going to help this rushing defense that much more. And dude, a winning formula is not being last in the league and running the ball, and also last in the league and stopping the run, which is what the Texans are this year. They are brutal. They're averaging 85 rush yards per game. With a rotation of backs right now, it seems Rex Burkhead is the guy that's carrying the bulk of the load. But even he's averaging less than 4 yards per carry. And I guess David Johnson is still there. I don't know. Are they giving him the ball? Because it doesn't seem like he has that many more yards than the first time we played him. Or maybe he's hurt, but he's also, he has roughly 200 rushing yards on the season and is also under 4 yards per carry. So you're not really scared of this running rush attack, Jake, when you have, the Titans defense is knocking on the door of the first ranked rush defense in the league. And if they can get a good performance here and Najee Harris has a pretty good game against Baltimore, they probably will jump into that one spot as the top ranked rush defense in the NFL in terms of yards allowed. So Yeah, not worried about this one. Surely, this is a thing that the Titans can. You expect them to deliver for you. So I think the Titans definitely has this advantage here in the rushing game or in the run stopping game. One thing I forgot to put in the notes here that the Texans may surprise you in is that they are in the plus category of turnover margin. I believe they're plus 3 or 4, and the Titans are in the negatives. So they have a better ratio than us. They can take care of the ball better or take away the ball better, whichever one it is. They have the better ratio. So that's definitely something that they do have an advantage over the Titans, I guess. If you want to throw them a bone, props to them, but it hasn't been translating into wins. Maybe if they could stop the run or run the ball better, that's probably going to translate into wins more so. But if we're getting the advantage here, we can move on to special teams. Bullock still knocking in the kicks. Kern, he had a really good day punting the ball.
Absolutely.
I thought Chester Rogers, shout out him last week. He fielded the ball very nicely on some weird short punts from the Miami punter. Thought he did a good job of fielding it and getting whatever yards he could in some terrible conditions. So I thought he played well. But as for the Texans, Fairbairn is a pretty good kicker, and they have Cameron Johnston there for the Texans punting. So I don't know. Should we just take this advantage too?
We'll take it. And I'm glad you brought up Chester Rogers. That was something I was going to possibly say in this last special teams of the regular season matchup. Chester Rogers, talk about a guy who's been there all year long back there fielding punts. He's been one in the lineup, which is hard to say for most Titans players, Justin. He's been there.
He's available.
And the best ability is availability. So that I love that from Chester Rogers. And I've coined his nickname Big Play Chester. He had the one big punt return against Pittsburgh. And I think I said it there out of nowhere. But if anybody else wants to use that, I'm giving a free domain on that. No copyright on Big Play Chester, just in case he springs one in the playoffs. And we can really call him Big Play Chester. Keys and predictions to this game, Justin. If you don't mind, I'll take it first here. You said it. You said it right there. You laid it out. The Texans have a plus turnover differential and the Titans have a negative one. And you look back to their meeting in November where the Titans had 4 interceptions from Ryan Tannehill, Chester Rogers, speaking of Big Play Chester, have it bounce off his ankle. That's the one bad play Chester we've seen from him. So he had that. That's 5 turnovers, and they had failed 2 fourth down conversions in that game on the plus side of the field. So that's 7. That's 7 turnovers. My key to this game is the Titans can start by not turning the ball over 7 times. If you can eliminate that, you'll have a good chance at winning this football game, Justin. And it's just about taking care of business. You can't let the 1 seed cloud your judgment like most fans are doing. I feel like most fans are overlooking this ball game. Let's just get through it. It's going to be about discipline and not turning the ball over. And I think the Titans win this one in a cruiser, Justin. In a cruiser, I'm going to have them put up 30-plus again. I'm going to go 33-17.
All right. Almost doubling them up. I like it. That's you look at what happened last game, and that's got to be the key for everyone in the entire world paying attention to these two teams and watching this game. Play a clean game. We can't beat ourselves with penalties or just bad execution, but most importantly, turnovers and taking care of the ball. Tannehill has got to be able to do that. There's no reason to keep going on. I'm just going to keep repeating your points, but that's the key for me. It's just a general clean game and taking care of the ball, not overlooking anything, just executes with that revenge factor still in mind. And remember how pissed off you were, Titans players, whenever you had to walk off Nissan Stadium with an unexpected L to the Texans, who had won, I think, just 1 game up to that point, which was the first game of the season against Jacksonville. They were on like a 10-game losing streak when they beat us in Nashville. So that's you gotta, every athlete, tries to find an edge to play with or chip on their shoulder. That should definitely be ours coming into this, not just to get the 1 seed, but to beat these punks that came in and embarrassed us in our home stadium in Nashville. So I'm taking the Titans too. Got to take care of the ball. I'm going to go with like a 27-13 score, and I feel like it's going to feel a little more dominating than that score. I want to give the Texans 13 points though, because 13 points has been the Titans' cursed number. It feels like over half of our losses, the offense puts up 13 points. And so I want to get away from that and let the other team score 13 for a change, end our season that way. So that's what I got. And I did want to bring up, not to take away your nickname for Chester Rogers, but one came to me and I had to write it down. With Antonio Brown now like not playing probably maybe ever again, and you know how he deemed himself Mr. Big Chest?
Big Chest.
How about Mr. Big Chester whenever he makes a play?
I like it. I like
it. Our Mr. Big Chester. So
I thought you might have gone for, I don't even know. I don't know where you were going with that. Something maybe Mr. Rogers or, something along those lines. There's so many opportunities. We'll get Chester a nickname. Don't worry.
Mr. Rogers Neighborhood, something like that.
Mr. Rogers Big Chester.
Mr. Rogers Big Chester. Yeah.
Might be a little long. Might not be quite as catchy as the other one.
Yeah. Something will stick. Hopefully we get the good big play Chester and not the bad play Chester like we saw against the Texans with the fumble. But anyway, so that's it. I mean, guys, just take care of the ball, play a clean game, and the 1 seed is ours for the taking, and we can rest up and enjoy the first weekend of playoff football, just trying to, keep an eye on who is going to be traveling to Nashville to play a game in the divisional round. So exciting times, man. I hope, no more letdowns. This Titans team is now for real. We are on track. We are healthy. Besides Michael Pruitt, prayers up for Michael Pruitt. Had a pretty good season for us, dependable tight end. But, for the most part, I would, I'll take Henry back. And that totally outweighs the loss of Michael Pruitt. But yeah, dude, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome seeing this team fully healthy. Tannehill with a full complement of receiving weapons. So hopefully they can put some stuff together, stuff to get excited about. I don't want to be limping into the playoffs with like a 13-12 win against this team. I want to feel good about us.
Absolutely.
In our potential Super Bowl run, Jake. That's crazy. It's crazy that we're getting that close to playoff time, but here we go. It's about to start, man.
Unbelievable.
Playoffs start now.
Yes, they do.
We gotta already be there mentally. So, that's gonna do it for me, Jake. You got anything else for this game?
I got nothing else for this game. Just go take care of business. I like that you're reminding everybody that times are great in the Titans kingdom right now. I mean, it is a good time to be a Titans fan. And I think we've said that throughout this year, even as low as we've been after the Jets game, after the Texans game, and Pittsburgh. And we didn't even film a video after the New England game. But it's overall good times to be a Titans fan. And I hope this Sunday can be an encapsulation of that. And also, if you can't go beat this Houston Texans team, you probably don't deserve the 1 seed anyways. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, especially if you get swept. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you beat them in November, you wouldn't have to beat them right now. So
yeah,
let's go take care of business. Let's get that number 1 seed. And the third time will be the charm, Justin, for your Tennessee Titans having the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. I think that's going to do it for us. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Tighten the freaking heck up, doing it for the YouTube censors. And let's go do it. Let's go take care of business. I'm pumped, Justin, and we'll be back with a recap next week.
Absolutely. Love it. Everyone tighten up.